All right, welcome everyone to Mind Your Own Business coaching call. So happy you're here with us, and we're closing out an incredible month. It's good to be in euphoria. So I'm Dr. Erin, and I'm looking at who's on this call, and you all are probably all experts at what we're going to talk about today, because to be a successful business owner, influencer in the world, you have mastered or gotten really, really good at understanding the power of storytelling, especially when it comes to leadership and influence and sales and all of those things. I heard recently that sales is actually leadership. And I was like, that is exactly right. And I've never put it that way in my brain. But if you look at what I have put together is this. So John Maxwell, the #1 leadership coach in the world, he says leadership is a function of influence, and influence is only achieved through connection. And I'm like, well, if sales is leadership, which all comes down to connection, this is why storytelling is your #1 tool in sales and leadership and influence and connection. And so we're talking about all of those things when we talk about what I'm calling story selling. And I want you to open up your chat room, if you would, and make sure you're responding to everyone in the meeting, hit everyone, and share what is a common objection that you know that you're going to get in this industry. And you're going to share them, and you're going to realize that there's pretty much 4, and they're always the same. Yeah, it's too expensive. Awesome. So share what the objections are. And pyramid scheme, yep, it's one of those things. Or that can look like, I could never be good at network marketing. Don't you have to be a salesperson? Like that could kind of chime into their time. I don't have enough time. Yep. And usually the other objection is like, I could never do what you do. So it's money, time, yep, influences. I could never do what you do. Time, I'm already busy. I don't have enough. I don't have belief in myself. I could never do what you do. It's too much money, and it's one of those things. That's it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be ready and have a story that you can tell for every one of those 4 objections. And I want us to craft these together, and I'll kind of walk you through some examples. But if you have these in your back pocket, you will never feel like you are convincing anyone ever again. You will feel like what you're here to do is connecting with people, okay? And here's why storytelling is the #1 way to influence people. Like, no one's made this up. This has been around since the cavemen, right? Like, stories are how humanity connect with people. And the reason is the majority of sales are based on emotions. It just is. People buy based on emotions. And there's some logic, and so you have to speak to that. And you'll see through storytelling, you'll be able to hit both. But a story, if you look at kind of what's your greatest, share in the chat room, what's your favorite movie star in any like epic tale of courage or bravery? Like, who do you think of? Who's your favorite character in any movie? Share that in the chat room. Yeah, not the right time, or I have vitamins that work for me. Absolutely. That we can create a story for that as well. So who's like your favorite movie character? And what I want you to realize is every story is kind of crafted the same. It's kind of the same structure. It's called the heroine's journey, the hero's journey. Denzel Washington, in what movie, Judy? And here's the hero's journey. They start out, they have a goal, they reach conflict, they have inner turmoil, they fight through it, and they win. Okay, that's like the basic, every Hollywood movie, everything we love. Ray from Star Wars, oh my gosh, love it. Tom Cruise, A Few Good Men. Look at what these people have in common. It's the story's the same every single time, right? So stories help us see and root for the champion. The stories help us see and root for the overcoming of the struggle. So if every objection in sales is a struggle, you can see then how storytelling is going to help people choose you, choose euphoria, choose what you're offering as the thing that they want to root for and that they're going to side with to get to the other side. Isn't that interesting? That's exactly what storytelling does. So, okay, so let me give you an example of the difference and just feel how this impacts you. So someone said, I could never do what you do, Erin. And this is kind of how I set up a story around my why. Like, why in the world would a psychologist and a coach be doing network marketing? Like, that could be the thing. Why would professional people, like, why would she have chosen that? So I'm going to set it up by this. And someone might say, I don't know. I just don't know, like, if I have a big enough why, or I don't know, like, I don't really know what my goals are. This is the story I might tell. I might say, and I'll ask permission. So sales is a lot about asking permission. I might say, Judy, can I tell you a quick story? And Judy will say, yeah. I'll say, okay. I remember a couple years ago, and mind you, I have a psychology private practice for 15 years, working my tail off. And I remember going to the grocery store, and Gracie looked up at me, and she was about 12, and we were in the produce section, and she's like, can we get berries? And berries are expensive. Berries are like $4. And I stood there and I thought, oh my God, I am so sick and tired of budgeting for berries. And I told Grace, no, we can't get the berries. And I was pissed. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of living like that. It makes me emotional just thinking about that moment. And I said, I am going to change things. This is ridiculous. And I got fed up. And I said yes to this opportunity of network marketing. And last year we were in the produce section and I was crying in the produce section, which is not a good look. And Gracie said, can we get the berries? And I said, get as many berries as you want. And she had 5 boxes of berries. She held them by her chin and she was holding them, walking through the produce section with all the freaking berries. That's why I'm doing Euphoria. So what is it that you're sick and tired of budgeting for? What is your berry story? What is it for you? So see how I just told a story and it brought you in and it was like, oh my gosh, I don't have the berry story, but I have this story that I'm so sick and tired of. So you use the stories to pull people into what is their why? What is their why? What are they going to fight for? What are they sick and tired of being sick and tired about? My story also showed me you rooted for me. You wanted me to say, get as many berries as you want. You wanted me to come out the champion. And then we do, right? Okay, so here, let me give you another story for maybe team members that come to you over and over and over and say, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they're not in activity and they're not doing anything. This is how I'd set this up. And this is my story for the power of actually taking action and just doing it. So I'll tell this quick story. I remember years ago, we were so poor that our friend gave us a free minivan. And you can imagine how nice the free minivan was. When you get a free minivan, it's a crappy minivan. And the minivan couldn't tell how much gas you had left. And so I just tried to be a good judge of how much gas you had left. And I'm taking Emily and at the time, baby Zachary to the swimming pool in the dead of summer. It's 102 degrees. And I feel the ka-chunk, 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 which means the gas is running low. And Emily, and she's 12, in all of her wisdom, with all the authority in her, says, and I say, Emily, we're going to break down. Oh my God, I don't want to break down. It's 102 degrees. I don't want to break down today. No, crap. And she goes, listen up, people. And it's me and Zachary. Listen up, people. We got no room for negative thinking, only positive thoughts from here to the swimming pool. And I was like, okay. And I kept driving as if the mindset of the positive thinking would get us there. We pull into the swimming pool parking lot. We happen to make it there. We park and she goes, see, Mom, it works. Don't we wish that success in Euphoria could be that easy, that we just had positive thinking? And I know you all have positive thinking, but what we need is we got to make sure there's enough gas in the tank and we've got to take action. Okay, so that was the end of that story. Do you see how like the story evokes this thing in you that you relate to, Can you grab it, please? Thanks, honey. Okay, what if you're not at the point of being able to buy the berries yet? Okay, so story selling, thank you for that, Mary. I want you to have the story doesn't have to be about you. So this is what story I told before we had any success in Euphoria is we always told Ron's story. So you want to grab the story of someone who's had success, and it doesn't have to be you. And so we would hop on the phone with people and we'd be like, oh my God, this works really great for people that are reticent about network marketing, and be like, oh my God, I was there with you. I had retired from my $12 paycheck in network marketing. And you know what? So had our current CEO. Let me tell you a quick story about Ron Williams. He actually spearheaded CBD, the oil industry, the essential oil industry. And you know what? He was very, very successful, but he was sick and tired of what we got sick and tired of, which was trying to basically create a boy band and say, my lavender's better than your lavender, and my protein shake's better than your protein shake. And I'll say, and Garth and I, we just couldn't get excited about it anymore. So we were done with network marketing because it just became this convincing game. And everyone I tell that story to is like, yes, yes. And I'm like, and actually it kind of then felt like I was always selling because the market's so crowded, and we just kind of decided we were going to be done. And so did our CEO. And he admits his fingerprints were all over that industry where you were fighting over which lavender was better. And then DNA Nutrition came along, and he was called, and he said, and he was called by Terry LaCour, and he said, Ron, I need you to bring this to the market. You're the best of the best. And Ron was like, I've retired. I don't want to do network marketing anymore. And he couldn't say no. And it was just like us. We couldn't say no to this. It just made perfect sense. Do you see how powerful that story is for that objection of, I've never been good at network marketing, or I've never created success? I want you to write this down. In this marketplace, vulnerability is the new credibility. And by vulnerability, I do not mean share your wounds. I mean share your scars. Share your wounds. No. Share your scars? Yes. That's from Jenna Kutcher. And what this looks like is when you're in the middle of this shit, don't share the shit. Share the shit when you get over the shit to help people understand that you went through the shit just like they're going through the shit, okay? But vulnerability is truth-telling and onboarding. Thank you. This is great shit. That's funny shit, Pamela Zimmer. That's hysterical. You want to share how people got through. Okay. So here's another one, and then I'm going to open it up for questions and examples. Oh my God, you don't have enough toilet paper. No one has enough toilet paper. Okay. So I could tell a story even to edify Pamela. I could say, when I heard about Euphoria, of course, I told my best friend, Pamela, because how weird would it have been if I hadn't told my best friend? And Pamela's like, I don't know, like I use every network marketing product in the world, like come and look at my bathroom vanity, but none of them have just gotten me really excited. And I am going to join her on that. So whatever objection people have, you're going to join them. And I could tell people about Pamela, and I could say, but I told Pamela, are you willing to just take a look? And she took a look, and it made a lot of sense. And then she thought, I'm not really good at, I can't imagine I'd be good at network marketing. And I would say, well, can you read? Yeah, I can read. Great. Can you do 7 minutes of reading on a sizzle call? That's what we do. Great. Let's do that. Okay. So I could tell a story of how someone got over, and I could say, you know what? And she followed the system, and she went influencer, which is what people do when they follow the system. And they start making $1 to $2 grand a month by following our system. I could also use my own story and say, I tried so hard in another network marketing company, and I had perfected the hour-long presentation. And you know what people would say? I could never do what you do, Erin. You're so good at it. And I know Judy. Yeah, that's like, yeah. And it was like, well, what are my other options? To be bad at it? Like, no, that was my only option. So I was screwed. Can you be good at reading a 7-minute script? Yeah, you can do this. So it's almost like helping people see how they can get over that hump. Okay. I also often tell the story of when I first heard of Euphoria, and I was like, I just bought the product. I was not going to do network marketing again. I was done. Like I was done. And then I got into the YouTube Bermuda Triangle, and I found a video in Eric Worre's living room launching this company called Euphoria. And I stopped my scroll and I was like, crap, I have to do this because I'm a smart businesswoman, I think. And if Eric Worre is, for the first time in the history of time, partnering strategically with a company and launching it from his living room, that sounds pretty smart to me. Do you see how the storytelling, right? People have the experience of, oh my God, me too. Or, oh my God, she is really smart. Like, wow, I never. So you're influencing people how to think about things. Last but not least, I'm going to tell you the story of how you can get over the objection of like, I don't know if I could do what you do. I'll say, and I say this to newbies all the time now, I got my hairdresser on Euphoria, and she starts that day, and I'm in her chair, and like 4 people come in, and she starts telling them, she's like, you got to hear about what Erin has. Like, you swab your DNA and poof, out comes your own nutrition. I remember telling Judy that. I'm like, oh my God, I've been overcomplicating this. Poof, out comes your nutrition. And I realized, oh my God, I've been overcomplicating this. Could you share that with people? And people are like, yeah, I could say that. Or I'll tell the story of Andy up in New Nutritionist up in Canada. And Andy is so coachable that Andy spent the whole first week of his business watching every single video that we suggested he watch. So he did all the worksheets. And then we came out with the 7-minute sizzle. And he goes, oh my God, Erin, this is so silly easy. I just invited people to the call. They came and they said, I want to do this. I have been overcomplicating this. So again, it helps people storytelling. So Andy signed up a nutritionist for his first call in his first week of doing this business by getting them on a 7-minute call. You get the point. Okay. You get the point. So I want you to really practice storytelling, and you can set it up and you can say like, Ashley, it would be all right if I shared a short story with you after someone has an objection or a story. And then you get them and you influence them to think about things in a new way. So I hope that totally blessed you, and let's open it up for questions. Thanks for joining Mind Your Own Business.